I am back with some more State of Decay 2 and with another episode for the Whisperers. We're on episode 91, but I might do this as a double upload, and this might have been up ages ago as well, because as I'm streaming this, it's just been not too long ago. We had the Xbox showcase. I can't remember what they called it, but they showed off a load of new games and stuff. And one of them is State of Decay 3. They showed off a new trailer, and I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on it in today's video. I'm just gonna go off my head really, because I did upload the trailer and like put what did people think. Reloading, because this did pop up, because I did play a bit of State of Decay. We're going to be in some random spot, I think, because I did spawn in and play State of Decay on the cloud at work, because my friend, well, a guy at work, he had his wireless controller, and we connected it to my phone, and it worked State of Decay. It was pretty cool. It was just the internet was bad. But yeah, I want to kind of talk about my thoughts on the trailer and kind of do the next episode for the Whisperer series. So I might just try and upload this twice. So I might upload this as like a review and then have this as episode 92. So this will be this will be up on the channel twice. I know it's a bit weird, but depends on how long I talk about it. If I feel like I can cut it, like highlight this bit, then I might do that way, but I don't know. It might be the whole episode me rambling on about it, but yeah, in general, like the trailer they did for the second one, I think I really liked. I think it was a lot better than the first trailer, just because it felt more like State of Decay. Whereas like I think the first trailer was cool, like the idea of zombie animals and stuff, but it never ever felt like State of Decay to me. But yeah, State of Decay 2 trailer, State of Decay 3 trailer. I think it definitely was quite a good trailer in the sense of it feeling like State of Decay for once, because one, you had a few people that seemed like they're in a community, and then you had like the vehicle upgrades, the zombies, the Screamer design, the new Juggernaut design. It's pretty cool. I'm just kind of hoping they have a bit of variety in it though, because I think with State of Decay we see the same Juggernaut all the time, but hopefully like this shows like we still have the old Juggernaut design, but we have the new ones too. I feel like they'll go into like the curveball stuff where zombies are different and they mutate and they adapt or change. Like I think they're gonna go into a lot of this stuff that they've tried to do in this, and I think it will work. Like I think it can easily work. I think what I've seen is they've been working with like the Coalition, the Grounded team, to work on the multiplayer to make it better. But I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do, because I feel like they might make it smaller, a much smaller like community, and make it more
we all have military and tactical training.
Survival on your own sort of vibe. But
if you can afford our services,
I'm kind of worried about that, because like, I like the big community build up and stuff, so it'd be interesting to see what they actually do. And even in the trailer, like, they showed off like gunplay and gameplay. I just don't think it was like. The problem is it's a CG trailer.
Screamer here.
They said it's all in-game footage and stuff and assets, but I don't know. they can say that for any trailer in the same universe. But that's the thing, like, definitely seemed more like State of Decay though, which is good. Like the first trailer was just like so. It just seemed like a bit of a generic survival game to me, which I suppose you could say State of Decay is in a way, but State of Decay isn't. Like it is really unique in its way of like trying to place in a big community in the zombie universe and just telling the player to go and survive. But you're not doing the typical thing of like, I need to eat, I need to drink. It's more like, I need to make sure everyone's eating and drinking. Well, having the ammo, resources and stuff. It's more, really the base is the supply line of whether you survive or not. And I think that's the thing, they need to make it so like scavenging is a bit more scavengy, but they need to be careful, like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I am generally happy with it, but I think where the controversy is, where people probably don't like my opinion on it, I do think it was a little bit woke. And a bit Hollywoodized. I had a feeling they were gonna do it. Like, I knew they were gonna do it because of all the build up to the trailer, and like I'm on Twitter all the time, checking up on Undead Labs, and there's always signs, you know, like it's fine. Like State of Decay has always had a little bit of a, well, like, I don't know, State of Decay's always been good at like having every sort of person involved, and it's always worked. Like State of Decay 1, when they had the Wilkerson got kid and what's his name?
Juggernaut.
I can't remember. There was like a gay relationship in State of Decay 1. And it worked. Like, it was so natural. It was like, yeah, you can make someone believe it. You had this relationship before the apocalypse and now dealing with it during, so it's a bit complicated. But I feel like the trailer was very Hollywoodized though. Tick boxing, so I don't care, like, I'm gonna say it, but they had the typical black female lead. Then they had the Asian girl, and there was 2 white guys in it. The guy in the car on his way to pick everyone up, and then you had the white guy. And even the girl was like, I barely know ya. But the guy, the biggest issue I have, like, I feel like, of course, the guy had to sacrifice himself or jump in to try and help the girl as she was about to get jumped. But for somehow he gets jumped on instantly and gets ripped apart within seconds. And her, like turning around at the last second, oh no, he's getting eaten. And then stepping in. I just didn't buy it. I know it's a game and they're trying to highlight the permadeath stuff, which is fine, which is good. But I feel like, of course, the white guy had to go, you know? I just feel like that's such a... Like, you see it all the time, like, it's always the thing, like... I suppose they made up for it with the guy driving the car, but still, he was just there driving. He was just the Uber driver. That's the problem though, like, in the trailer, I don't know why they were where they were, like, the girl was like running away from zombies, right? And she was getting in a bit of a faff, but she was fighting everybody, guns blazing, as loud as possible.
Hey,
she
Same
wanted
numbers,
help,
right?
when she could have easily just kept the noise down a little bit. Like, that's the thing, it's a trailer, they're trying to fit a story in within 3 minutes. So I need to kind of not worry about that, but...
Could be worse.
But even in the, like, end screen when they were doing the memorial, there was, like, a pride flag. Like, why? Like, technically, like, if we're going off continuity, like, I don't know when the... Let me have Google. So I wonder if there's like a year or an idea of when the outbreak broke out. When did state of Decay's outbreak start? Talking about The Last of Us, what the fuck? When, what? Yeah. Did State Decay outbreak start? I'm on Reddit. I doubt I don't know if they would have known the year. Possible origins for the outbreak. But yeah, depending on like when the game... the game came out in 2013, I think. So say that's when the game was set. 2013 time. Which is probably not right. Sorry. I don't really see a year. Anyone mention a year? But like, for me, say the game was set in 2013. That was when the outbreak started. To be fair, I think it could be older, because in State of Decay 1, the vehicles were a lot older looking in Trumbull Valley, but that was Trumbull Valley. That was a bit more of a country town. But even then, 2013 is probably a good timeline for this game. Because it's more modern, in a way, with the vehicles. But for me, like, 2013 or 2010 time, the whole pride flag thing, like, that wasn't really a thing.
Nothing here.
Like,
Surprise.
not like a movement like it is now. So, why would there be a pride? You could say it's just a rainbow flag, but it's not, is it? It's a pride flag. And I suppose you could say, or don't be so. But that's the problem there. Like, even if I disagree or don't like this decision, I'll just get gaslighted and say, "Oh, you're just being a fucking knobhead," and all that shit. And I'm like, nah. Cause I'm tired of that shit. Like, like this shit destroys franchises because people are tired of it. Like,
Terrific.
and I'm just worried. Like, I think if State of Decay focuses on the zombie and kind of makes characters believable, even if it is State of Decay level, State of Decay 2 levels, where it's just in like basic shells of characters, you know. I just don't want like 20 isbis in my group talking about pronouns and stuff. If that's the case, I am getting a refund and I'm done. Because I don't want that. I want a zombie game. And that's the thing. For the most part, the trailer was a zombie game. I just think the trailer was very wokeified, and what did they call it? The diversity and inclusion policy that they have to do in a lot of media now, where you have to add this certain amount of people, you have to do this, you have to do this before you write anything else. And you see it in everything. Like, it's like a policy, you have to tick box all these different things, or people might not monetize the game or advertise it. It's kind of weird for like something like Microsoft to do it, but
No place to put
I
that.
don't know. It's getting into the gaming sphere now, and it's getting bad. But the problem is like the game studios have got to be careful, because gamers aren't fucking movie fans. Well, for the most part. Like TV and like people who watch TV and that, they don't really care too much. Like, they just want to watch something. But they will try and perk up when they fucking think it's bullshit. But gamers, they will say something. And they will say something with their money, and they will rip you into shreds if you take the piss. State of Decay is a little bit safer because the community is genuinely good. Like, there's not one bad person in the community. Like, for the most part, everyone's like want to really support Undead lads because they are good. They are a brilliant studio. But this diversion and inclusion stuff does taint stuff for people, especially me. I'm tired of it. And yeah, you can gaslight me if you want, but when some of my favourite franchises have been bastardised into this stuff, like, look at Doctor Who. Like, they get the money of Disney to make the show better, but they still wokeify it and belittle it and turn it into something it isn't, and it's just, it's heartbreaking, man. I just hate it. And if it's going to get into games like that I love, like State of Decay, I will move on, because like I'm not, like, at least I've got State of Decay 2. But I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just worried, that's all. It's like, when I'm getting attacked by a horde of zombies, I don't want like an NPC or a follower to be like, oh, my pronouns are they, them. Remember that when I die. Or else I would let that person die, honestly. Like, fuck you.
Not gonna fit.
Honestly. But it is kind of funny though, like, in a way, like, if that pride flag is at a memorial to honor the dead, say, of course the person with the pride flag is dead. How fucking stupid is that, to put that on a memorial thing? Like, if you aren't going to be woke and stuff, or like, I don't know, respectful to, or like, I don't, at least they're not like being kind of, what would you say, At least they're not being like, yeah, I don't know how you say it, but at least like the game isn't like, I'm blanking really, but yeah, I just think it's funny, like the fact that you have like a memorial for the dead, and a lot of these items in that pile are like people that you're gonna be PC or really like they didn't make anyone like a Mary Sue, I suppose, which is kind of good in a way, because they could have done that. They couldn't, I don't know. Like if they had like a Mary Sue thing, they probably wouldn't have that flag there, or maybe they would have like a different wall where it's just all heroes that are still alive or something. I'm surprised they didn't do that. The problem is, like, if you're on this side of the line where you think it's a little bit, you don't really like it, the woke stuff, you get gaslighted by people and you're like, and I'm tired of that shit. Because personally, if I get pushed away from this game because I disagree with, if the game's good and I can overlook it, because I can overlook a lot of it in State of Decay too, because it's not that bad. It's in Trumbull Valley though. There I'm like, oh, I don't like Isby. Even though, if she didn't do some of the lines she does do, I would genuinely like her. I think she would be a cool character, but she is so, like, talking about Cleo and her they them pronouns and stuff. So it's like no. If it's like that in State of Decay 3 and it's a more, I don't think I can play it, honestly. Which would be a shame, because like I've been playing State of Decay 2 since it came out, 6 years. So like, if I can't, like, if I don't have that investment in State of Decay 3,
Our lack of storage meant some of our supplies
it's gonna be
got
bad,
ruined.
innit? Like,
I did manage to save a few bits that should still be useful.
Nothing more to find here. Let's go.
like if I don't have that outlook in State of Decay,
Why can't everywhere be this quiet?
yeah, I just don't want to get gaslighted and pushed away. Which I don't think is as bad. Like the Doctor Who community is toxic. Like if you are on the left side or the right, or if you're in the middle, you're gonna get gaslighted by someone, and it's like, fuck you. I know I'm bringing up this subject a bit, but I've had this worry for State of Decay before the trailer, where I feel like they would do it, because like I know that Undead Labs has had like a bit of issues with like some like equality stuff that have been reported by staff members. I think that came out in the news. I can't really remember the details, but like for me, I think that was a bit set up in a way. I feel like whoever it was targeted at, it was probably bullshit. 'Cause it is probably like they probably got people in that team that are gaslighting people, who usually are actually generally good guys. Unless it's like something like an Overwatch thing where like they're proper sly scumbags, then yeah. But honestly, what I've always seen in Undead Labs is generally cool, chill people. But you can't really have banter with people anymore.
Still a few brainless roaming
Well,
about.
About the worry of people trying to cancel you or whatever. Which to me I don't really care too much about. But to be fair, State of Decay 3 did definitely look like it seemed like an upgraded version of State of Decay 2. Because you had the plague cart stuff. Like when the first one of the first scenes where he's driving and you see the view of the forest. And you see like the red mist, that's plague carts. So they're probably bringing some kind of plague cart system back. Or continuing it.
We'd be idiots not to turn this into an outpost.
And then they're probably going to do plague walls from Heartland. So I can imagine like roads being blocked off. And then for some reason you have to break them down. Or maybe infestations block roads. So I can imagine them doing like what we have with infestations now, the updated version. A lot of this stuff I think that is going to be in State of Decay 2. They've just been doing like budget basic versions of it now, and then in the next game they'll probably refine it to be better, which is kind of good. So I hope you will have like well, I'd say hopefully a lot of the systems that they've introduced in this in the next game.
Emphasis on
Because could you imagine if they just went back to basics and it went back to way State of Decay 1 came out, or well, 2 came out. There was like hardly nothing that was in this. So I know that
I already got all I can handle. If only I had room for it.
like they've been working with all these other studios. I think Wushu Studios is still working with them, even on State of Decay 3, which is good. Because the stuff they've been adding into State of Decay 2 has been good. But yeah, hopefully
Take out the nearest
they've got more people working on the game now. State of Decay 3 is going to be more solid when it comes out and not going to be broken or buggy. Or if it is going to be the case where like people are pestering them to release the game and it isn't ready,
Take care of it. Any updates?
I really hope they say like, okay, we'll release it as game preview or something, so you know it's going to be buggy. My controller's dying. Oh, I knew it was going to happen. Maybe I won't make this too long if I'm talking about this. So my controller might cut out.
Locked up tight. I can smell them hanging around. I'm not gonna find anything else here.
But yeah, if the game is ready and finished, but they have been forced to release it, then hopefully they do like game preview or something. I think it would be a good shout for them. So at least people know what they're going to buy. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to drive back and I might call it. I know it's a short episode, but if I'm going to upload this twice on the channel, then hope you don't matter too much. we need to come back. But I need to charge the controller. But I like the zombie designs, like the... I think I read an article that was talking about the screamer. When it screams, it's got a molten scream or something. Which just makes me think like they're gonna scream like fire and shit now. But I feel like that's what they're gonna do, like all this curveball stuff where you got the modifiers. They're gonna do that as like just a random thing you come across. I think that'd be so cool. Where like freaks are like... Freaks could be any zombie technically. If you're not cautious. Like, or like if they did the whole curveball thing, that would be good. But... Because I think that's my favourite bit about the curveballs. Not the Black Plague arcs or anything. But having like freaks that are like normal zombies just modified. I love that. I think that's my favourite thing in the game at the minute. Like the Black Plague arcs I could take or leave. I think they kind of get in the way. But yeah, like I'd love to hear what people think. Like, I know I'm a bit negative on the woke stuff, but it's just that I've been burnt so much with so many franchises that I used to like, and now it's just a joke. And I don't want Decay to be another one because I love Decay. And I don't want to get gaslighted to be pushed away, because I will do it. I will move on. But ever since Xbox Arcade on 360, it's like to leave a franchise like this is hard. But if you want another kind of audience to be interested in your game, then fine. But if you are going to do this woke stuff, just please don't make it so in your face and eye rolling, because it's so boring. Make it believable. Like Decay 1 did it fine with gay relationships and stuff like them topics. It was fine back then. It was kind of a nice basic storyline in a way, but it just worked and it was natural. But I feel like modern, like what they might do in this game is going to be completely on the AWOL path of like pronouns, pride flags everywhere. I don't like being negative like that, but it just worries me because so much has been tainted by people that can't write or create stuff that is entertaining anymore. Because it can't be entertaining, it has to be literary. And that just kills me when stuff is like that.
Hey pal, what's new and horrible today?
But like in general, like the combat looked good, like for the trailer.
Delivered.
We didn't really see much, but it was more over the shoulder. Like the gameplay looked good, the weapon designs looked good. I'll probably talk about more in the next episode, but less of a review. Like this is more like what I thought of it. The other thing is there's no release date. Like a lot of the other Xbox games, they had like 2025 releases. Decay had nothing. So I wouldn't be surprised 26, but I kind of hope so. Honestly, I don't want Decay to be rushing at Decay 3. I think it can wait. Especially if it's going to be next gen only. I think they can generally wait, but yeah, overall, like Decay 3, it looks alright. It looks like an improved Decay 2, which maybe a lot of people don't really want because they've played Decay 2 to death. But I'm glad it was more focused on like the human side, zombie side, gunplay, permadeath in a way. Even though I don't like the whole, like that guy, he definitely was on purposely killed in that way. I feel like. but because it just happens all the time now, where the white guy has to die first. But yeah, I don't know. The vehicle looked good. Like I seen, like a lot of the weapons and stuff, it feels like handcrafted stuff. So I don't know if they're gonna go more modular. So like you can put a new barrel on, scope. Like have a bit more choice in what you actually do with your weapons. Like the weapons, maybe more of a Dying Light thing, where it's a bit more like maybe you can have electric on your weapon or something. Maybe that would be cool. But yeah, I don't know. But I think in general, like State of Decay 3, I'm excited for it, but I am worried massively. I just don't want it to be a woke mess, and I have faith in Undead Labs a lot more than other studios, because they have done like the whole different topics right in the past, and have made it work. But I think the issue will be is if it is a different team now. Like it is a much bigger team now. It's not like the small indie studio it was before. So I feel like maybe there's a chance they've got infiltrated and they're getting manipulated. Maybe Microsoft is getting involved in what they have in the game, but I don't know. Hope if it's like State of Decay 2 where the NPCs and stuff, they're not like talking your ear off all the time, it might not be as bad. Like if it's the same sort of thing where people just bring it up in conversation with certain elements, then fine. Because some of the radios in State of Decay 2 are a bit like you have like your different groups, and I can imagine like an LGBTQ group that will pop up on the radio. I will not be surprised. Or like a lesbian group where it's just all women in a I just can imagine it if they're gonna go a bit more story driven, where like there's a bit more backstory and things and stuff, then I can imagine they do something like that. But that's just me being like in the mindset of what Hollywood would do. Because it is infiltrating gaming now. Like a lot of games right now, you can see it. Like Outlast 2 a few years back, like that was bad. Outlast 2 was awful. But like even more recent games, it's just you can see it, and like it's just I don't know. I'm not very good at this explaining what I'm thinking, but I think the trailer was alright. I definitely prefer than the first one, because the zombie animals might be cool, but I just don't know how that will play in a game like State of Decay. Unless it's more wildernessy and there's less zombies and you're more just in the forest. I don't know. It'll have to be interesting to see how it works or plays out. Because like what I've heard is like instead of it being like the multiplayer will be more like you're more in a shared community. Then like in State of Decay 2's multiplayer, you're just tagging along if you're joining someone, and you're just helping out. And you have less choice on what actually happens on the server or map. So I think State of Decay 2 is going to be a little bit more interesting. Because maybe it's going to be less about big communities, and it's going to be more about like a small group of people. It'll be like making tents, camps and stuff. Maybe more of like a forest vibe. I don't know. I don't think you'd be cutting down trees and stuff. I think it will be you probably find a building and maybe you can make any building a base. Maybe that's an option, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be set bases still. I feel like it will be just almost a remake or a remaster. Yeah, more remake of State of Decay 2. Because a lot of the trailer reminded me of State of Decay 2's trailer. Like the wooded forest area again. There was a little bit of rain as well. Like puddles of water. So I think they're still hinting at weather. There was no sign of snow. So unless they're adding like seasons and weather, like, or if there is multiple maps, but I'm not sure. It seemed like it was the same sort of map location as the first game. Well, the first trailer. So like the forest wooded area. So maybe they've got like every time you load in, it's a different terrain or weather type. Maybe I can imagine that being a thing, or legit it's like the forest where there's seasons, which would be cool. Because it would be kind of cool as a forever community or something, and seeing the change in the map and the weather and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see if they do multiple maps, or is it going to be one big map. I think one big map will work, but they've got to be careful. Because you have something like Trumbull Valley, which is so iconic. Sure, not the elements. There's a lot of elements in that map, that one there. Kind of basic, it's just a loop. But even in State of Decay 2, a lot of the maps are the same, big loop. So it'd be interesting to kind of change up the terrain a little bit, but if it's just a big foresty map with small towns again, I think that's kind of what we've had before. I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen cities or like proper like little town areas and stuff, like proper villages. Like if it's America, like more suburban stuff. Like you have hints of it in this, like Trumbull Valley is the best place for it, I suppose, but like yeah, definitely Trumbull Valley is like perfect, like city. Oh, town, and then you've got country towns and farmland. Like that's why Trumbull Valley is so good, I think, because you have a big city area, like vibe. No, more town. Town. And then you've got like the smaller town near the church and stuff. Like yeah, State of Decay 2. They've got to compete with Trumbull Valley. Whereas Providence Ridge, Drucker County, Meagher Valley, like honestly, all the base game State of Decay 2 maps, Providence Ridge is alright, but still, it's still not Trumbull Valley. Trumbull Valley is the one map that has that big town in it, and it's a big location for people to like build in. Well, surviving, you know, like it's kind of what you expect in a zombie game, especially in like an American setting, like Walking Dead vibe in it, where you go from countryside to big town area. Whereas I think a lot of the other, like the kind of the maps that were built for State of Decay 2, they were kind of, or are, they've been improved, but they are very like, the towns are small. Like you have 1 or 2 blocks. A few buildings, a few stores, that's it. But yeah, I think that if they're going to do a big map, or one map, they need to make it more like State of Decay 1, where you've got a big area where it's buildings, you've got forest, farmland. You need, if you're going to bring it down to one map, you need to make it bigger, you need to make it diverse with all different types of landscapes, because if it is just forest land and it is just like, say, the Long Dark or something, I think people could get have a problem with it or bored with it, and you'll find out, hang on, where's the 3rd and 4th map? Because the thing is, the reason why State of Decay 2 was good for that is because it did kind of provide a little bit of difference. in the layout what you actually got in the map. But at the end of the day, you legit had 3 maps where they put all these resources into different areas. Like, why couldn't we just add all these 3 maps connected as one? But that's the thing, the trailer didn't really show much. It was really more the direction and the idea of it, which I think is more State of Decay, which is good. But I'm just worried about the writing and like the messaging in it. I feel like there's going to be the message, and I think that might be a problem. But I don't know. In general, like I'm relatively happy with it, and in a way I'm kind of happy they ain't put a date down, because I think it would get delayed. I think a lot of the games next year are going to be delayed, but there's a lot of cool games coming out next year. Gears of War, E-Day, can't wait for that. Doom game looks good. I can't remember. It's the Old Order or something. Like pretty much get like Doom, but saying like medieval times. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think if anything, we'll leave it there for State of Decay 2. We'll be back with some more of the Whisperers in the next few days. It was less of about the Whisperers today, but we did a bit of looting. But I think what my plan is, once we've killed all the plague hearts, which might be by next episode, we'll see. But then I think my plan is to go into Callisto Protocol. I know I said Saints Row the 3rd, but Callisto Protocol has been put on Game Pass, and there's an Xbox One version. So I'm thinking, because it's from Dead Space from the Dead Space devs, I would like to play it, because I can't play the remake or remaster. I know Callisto Protocol has a lot of bad reviews and stuff. It's not as like infamous as Dead Space, but I would like to give it a try. We'll see what it's like. But if not, I think my plan is to alternate between this and Gas Station for now. Then we'll probably go in Callisto and Gas Station, and then probably go in Saints Row the 3rd and Gas Station, and then after that will be probably State of Decay. And that's if we go for that long with Gas Station. But I have got the Gas Station DLC now. What's the airship DLC or something? I did buy that. Don't know if I mentioned it before, but yeah, we're getting back into it. I know that we did a lot of Sea of Thieves recently, but I'm glad I'm getting back into this. But if anything, I'll leave it there today. We'll be back with some more. State of Decay 2 in the next few days, but keep an eye out. We've got Gas Station coming up. Check out some of the Sea of Thieves. They look quite long though, but and then we got my main Let's Plays, Red Dead Redemption and Fallout. So there's a lot of variety, a lot of things going on. But I think if anything, we'll leave it there today, and we'll be back with some more in the next few days. So as always, thanks for watching. You've been watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.